Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're all ready. You're about to witness pure perfection on the Mortis. Recently here on this channel, especially before the Season 11 update and the content that came out with it, I have been really enjoying showcasing some of the highest level skilled gameplay with my boy Mortis. It's kind of turned into a little tiny series where we're literally just looking for the best Mortis player in the entire world. We've already showcased phenomenal Mortis players out there such as RZM, insanely good, as well as Physic, really good with the team wipes. But today's spotlight is going to be a little bit of a different taste because the setting for this Mortis gameplay is much different, and that is the literal Brawl Stars World Finals. And the person who navigated this Mortis, and regarded by several pro players in the community to be probably just the overall best player in the entire world, at least at the time of the World Finals. And that is the absolute GOAT, Tempo. So to kick off this video, Tempo, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not gonna lie, I've pronounced it like 3 different ways each time I was pronouncing it wrong. It might be Tempo. We'll just call him Tempo, okay? Is a pro player for Zeta Division, which was the team that won this most recent Brawl Stars World Finals in a pretty dominating fashion. They felt leaps and bounds better than the rest of the competition, and to be honest, it was so dang fun to watch. Now, I would say Tempo is just an overall phenomenal player. Like I said before, pro players recognize him as probably the best player in the entire world. But there were a few matches in this Brawl Stars World Finals where he actually played Mortis in Siege, a very unconventional pick for a game mode where Mortis really shouldn't be played. So getting straight away into the footage, and to set up these next couple matches that you guys are about to watch, we have Zeta Division versus ACM Clash here. This is day 3 of the Brawl Stars World Finals, so stakes are incredibly high. And to set up the matches to come even further, we have this player here, Lannan, which I'm sure you guys have all heard of. Again, I might be mispronouncing the name as well, but I've heard of this guy as well for being one of the most goated Mortis players in the world as well. Now we're going into a few Siege matches, and Lannan is going to be starting off with a Mortis pick going into this. As you can see, him rocking the swimsuit or summer Mortis here. Now, in my opinion, because of this Mortis pick from Lannan, I feel like Zeta Division was caught off guard just a little bit. They were overwhelmed during this first game here. So of course, after a fairly convincing first game here by AQM, they ended up winning. So they had to make a few adjustments going into this somewhat strange and aggressive comp from AQM. And in all honesty, I do not blame Zeta Division. I doubt that they were expecting a Mortis to come out on Siege. It's a very unconventional pick in the game mode, and I believe throughout this entire tournament, it's the very first time Lannan actually brought out Mortis. But as you guys can see, the counter here, Tempo is now playing my boy Mortis. It's also important to take note that they have a pretty dang good comp up against this Mortis comp that AQM is running. They have a Gale for the hard counter up against Mortis, and a Mortis to kind of counteract that pressure as well. But getting straight away into this match, as you can see, Tempo is meeting the Sprout into lane, and oh my goodness, a beautiful comp to go up against with AQM having 2 lobbers. So Tempo is eating this up, getting in 2 good swipes, dodging this Sprout's attacks like a madman. The jukes are impeccable. He got hit once there, but keeping up the pressure, not allowing Incase to get back into lane on that Sprout. Lannan having somewhat of a tricky time up against that Gale, but Tempo taking them out. That Barley right on the edge of the spawn, or the radius of the IKE of the enemy's IKE, if we're looking at the perspective from Zeta Division. We have the Sprout doing a phenomenal job here, blocking off the pathing of the boss robot, easily defending this very first push. But with a team comp like this one that Zeta has, it's all about keeping the pressure on the map. And as you guys can see, Tempo has yet to be defeated here, just passively collecting these bolts and keeping up this consistent pressure. So we have Lannan coming into lane, a 1v1 up against Mortis, gets a few dashes on him and directly switches his focus to the Barley, taking him out, while Lannan is very damaged and forced to go back into spawn. So Tempo doing a phenomenal job, a 1v2 there. Going into the spawn, taking him down with 320 HP to go. This pressure is insane. Each time he goes in, it's so dang calculated and just impeccable. Going in on the Barley here, getting 1 dash in, knowing that Mortis isn't a good attacker in Siege. The main purpose, your role on Siege as Mortis, is just staying alive and keeping the pressure up and collecting bolts in a smart way. But they're pressured back a little bit. Tempo switches his focus to the lobbers here, taking a few chip damages, forced to go back. but staying alive. Lannan going in, Tumble juking around, and finally going down for the very first time of the entire match. The Gale on Zeta Division's team doing a great job at collecting cubes, but it looks like AQM is going to be picking up this second bot here, so it's very important for them to defend this, which I think they should have a pretty fairly easy time to do so here. The way Tempo plays in Siege is just some of my favorite Mortis gameplay because it's kind of close to how I would play with this guy. Look at him just pop off, taking down the Mortis, taking down a lobber there. It's exactly what you should be doing with Mortis when the enemy team is attacking. Just go for the people. Don't worry about defending or anything like that. Just take down the enemy teammates where most of the damage is going to come when a boss robot is actually attacking. And if you guys didn't know, Tempo is the one with the hat in the middle there. He's doing a phenomenal job. I love his Mortis gameplay, legend. And another thing that I find incredibly important to take note of is, yes, this is great, just solid bare bones Mortis gameplay, but this is the highest stressful caliber setting that you can be in, right? You're in the Brawl Stars World Finals, man. Just going over a little bit of the replay here, Tempo just doing a phenomenal job when the boss robot's attacking, taking down the Mortis, taking down the Barley there, so literally the enemy team couldn't get any damage whatsoever. A very smart Mortis player. Tempo getting the MVP there with 5 kills and only 1 death, with Lannan on Mortis 3 and 3. But this could be chalked up to a better team comp as well. They had Gale for a pretty dang solid hard counter up against Mortis on AQM's side. But as we get into our second game here in Siege, the situation changes quite a lot here. AQM now has a Buzz, a Barley, and a Frank, which Tempo shouldn't have that hard of a time, but the brawlers that he's going up against in this round are much more difficult compared to the last, seeing that the last round had 2 lobbers, right? But going in on the Frank here, easily taking him down, knowing the limits of Mortis really, really well. We have Lannan pressuring Tempo with the stun super activated, so Tempo switches his focus to more brawlers that he's able to go up against a little bit more easily here, taking down the Buzz in literally a second, goes in on the Frank easily, just dashing around, taking a little bit of damage, but using the bot to take the damage to be able to go into that radius of the IKE and safely get away without taking any damage, but just playing phenomenally, keeping back all these guys, going for the easy kills. Look at this. The gameplay up against Frank is amazing. Imagine doing this in this high-pressured situation like this. Just being able to rip around, going for the best opportunities possible. But getting back to the gameplay here, as you can see, Zeta in a little bit of a pinch, much like the last round. It looks like AQM is going to be able to get this second bot. Tempo about to go in on Barley, but switching his mind up and going back, prioritizing staying alive there, but the blue team is going in. Lannan has a super, takes down the Barley, but Gale doing really, really good on defense here. This map in particular is so dang cheesy for defense up against the boss robot. But now we're in a little bit of a sticky situation. Zeta trying to get back into lane, which is always such a hard thing to do, with Lannan pressuring there with his super, but he finds a way to get some bolts out of it when the blue team isn't really pressuring him. He finds a nice little window, takes down the Frank, and now he's just rocking, getting so many bolts here, getting his team up to an insane amount, with this next bot going to be pretty dang ridiculous. But taking down the Buzz there fairly easy, the Buzz stunning him and still managing to take him down, and now we have a level 10 robot coming in. They play each round very, very similar, where they get the first bot, the second team gets the second bot, and then the third bot is just a ramped up, beefy, level crazy robot where Zeta can really flex at the end. Doing amazing, right? Taking Siege by storm, in my opinion, because of the stellar Mortis gameplay. Yeah, look at this. The crowd gets what I'm saying. MVP for sure. Look at this. People on pro teams competing in the World Finals also agreeing that Tempo is just carrying this whole entire set, right? Look at that. Another MVP. In that match, he got 6 kills and 2 deaths. It's insane, up against a comp that was actually somewhat tricky to go up against on Mortis. And another thing I just really, really enjoy about Tempo is that was the first time he played Mortis throughout this entire World Finals. So he just brought him out, played him lights out, crushed the team, and back to his normal business with the brawlers that he normally plays a whole lot, right? Just a lights out player overall. But yeah, everyone, I just wanted to share this crazy high level Mortis gameplay from the last 2 episodes that we watched with Nuts Mortis skill here in this game. This was quite a bit different, seeing that it was in a competitive setting, which in my eyes, yes, the other stuff is like flashy and super cool, but in my opinion, this can be even more impressive, seeing that you have to compete at this crazy high level up against some of the best players in the entire world, taking a look at a full-length game and him playing lights out throughout the entire game. Where on the other hand, some of this crazy, flashy Mortis gameplay on YouTube is insanely impressive, but it's important to take note that these are just clips out of multiple games, right? You really don't know. Maybe, for example, one of those crazy clips were taken from a match that they actually ended up losing, and that was just the only good key moment from that game. So because of the performance that I saw during that World Finals up against a really solid Mortis player in Lannan, I could say comfortably that he is the best Mortis player in the world, or close to the absolute best. But yeah, everyone, hope you all enjoyed this showcase of just insane gameplay at the highest level. It's so dang fun to watch my boy Mortis played in competitions at this standard, right? The Brawl Stars World Finals, day 3. It's so awesome. But yeah, guys, if you ended up enjoying this video, be sure to slap a like on it. Really appreciate that. Have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. Keep having fun with Brawl Stars, and we'll see you in the next video. Adios, and take care.